Most people have a very strong illusion. They feel to be in full control of their lives. You believe that you think what you want to think, that you make choices, that you make decisions. You believe that you choose the people with whom you want to relate. You believe that you choose the life you want to live. You are completely wrong. The unconscious mind strongly determines your thoughts, your choices, your decisions. The unconscious mind attracts the people that will be in your life and builds the situations you are going to go through. The unconscious mind is the boss. I'm Cavalher. The illusion of freedom, the illusion of free will, is typical of the third dimension, and most people are currently 3D. At this stage, we claim that we can think whatever we want, control our emotions, make choices in accordance with our desires, and act in accordance with our choices. Can we indeed? Where do these thoughts, these emotions, these desires you base your choices and decisions on come from? If you are so very free, why are your thoughts and emotions so recurring? Why do you always stand for the same lines of thought, get irritated with the same things, and feel jealous in the same situations? Why do you desire and end up choosing the same things? From your order in the restaurant you always go, to the direction you chose for your career. In 3D, we believe we live together with people we choose and go through the situations we choose. Do we indeed? So, why do you always attract the same kind of men and women? Why do you face the same professional and financial challenges for years? Let me tell you a secret. The unconscious mind is the boss. But this illusion of freedom is not your fault. If you are 3D, the illusion of freedom is also created by the unconscious mind. In 3D, you are forced by the unconscious mind to have the illusion of freedom. The unconscious hides itself from you on purpose, because at this stage, the relationship with the unconscious mind is hazardous. In 3D, the goal is to build your consciousness, not to get in touch with the unconscious. In 3D, the goal is to build a strong ego, not to follow the soul. But the fact that you are forced to live an illusion of freedom does not imply that the force of the unconscious mind is smaller. On the contrary, since you are not paying attention to it, the unconscious mind controls you in a much easier way. Only when you are able to access the fourth dimension, you become capable of seeing what is going on in the unconscious mind. In 4D, you begin to see the unconscious controlling you, people around you, and the situations in your life. In 4D, the paradigm is different. In 4D, it is possible to establish a conscious contact with your soul, influence the unconscious mind, and make a profound change in your life. As a matter of fact, the unconscious's power of determining your life is the same in 3D or 4D. The difference is that in 3D, you can't see any of this happening, but in 4D, you can see and you can influence. Would you like to see how all of this works? Come with me. When we go to the theater, very good actors and actresses are able to make us completely submerge in the story and the characters. We forget all the rest. But the play doesn't happen exclusively on stage. During the play, a lot of things are going on in the backstage. Even before the play starts, those involved in that play went through months and months of rehearsals and situations in the backstage of their lives. Everything that happens in the backstage determines what will happen in the play. What the audience sees is but the culmination of a long process, a tiny part of the process, the play. That's exactly what happens to us. All that we think, feel, intuit, remember, desire, choose, decide, do, all that we experience with other people or life situations, all that we see, all that is conscious for us is the play we watch. But this is only a small part, the climax of a gigantic process that has already occurred in the unconscious mind. The same thing happens in a computer. We see only what happens on the screen, and we can only interact with what is on the screen. That is equivalent to consciousness. But we do not see the apps code and the algorithms behind the screen, nor the decisions they're making, nor the computer's parts, nor the immense work that many developers, designers, and other professionals had to make all that work. We simply use the apps to do what they strictly allow us to do. A text editor allows to write, not to watch movies. The conscious choice we have is very limited. Yuval Harari, author of the masterpieces Sapiens and Homo Deus, points out this mechanism of the human psychological structure, comparing them to a computer. Let's see how this works in the human being. This is a very small synthesis of someone's consciousness. Note that everything you are aware of is a part of your consciousness. Although the holistic and self-help people keep telling you to follow your heart and your intuitions, claiming they would be messages from your soul, feelings and intuitions are also part of the consciousness for the simple fact that you are aware of them. However, just like what happens in the theater or in the computers, almost everything that happens in our consciousness is determined by the unconscious mind. This is how the unconscious mind operates in our lives. Our thoughts, our hearts, our intuitions, and our behaviors are determined by unconscious patterns. People around us are attracted by unconscious patterns. Situations that happen to us are built by unconscious patterns. Note that the unconscious is full of patterns, and these are the patterns that determine everything. That's why things are so repetitive. That's why we behave always the same way. That's why we always attract the same kind of people and the same situations. For instance, if your unconscious mind determines that evaluations are negative things, every time you go through an evaluation, you will feel somehow uncomfortable. Another example. If the unconscious mind determines that there will be loss of money for some reason, this situation becomes a reality in your life. How much you struggle doesn't matter anymore. If you do make money, it doesn't last. The unconscious's action will prevail. Either you can't make money or you make it, but situations come by and force you to spend it. Most techniques offered today try to solve that problem on a conscious level, suggesting behaviors the professional believes to be helpful. Positive thinking suggests that you consciously define what you consider to be positive and visualize that. The law of attraction suggests that you choose consciously what you want for your life and visualize that. These techniques are fads only. They are products to be sold in the market. Dangerous products, in fact, since they teach you to use spiritual mechanisms to satisfy your ego's desires only. Besides, any techniques based on suggesting what behaviors should be adopted are at best good 3D techniques to strengthen the ego, but they are not a way to establish a conscious contact with the soul or the spirit. Nothing of this works simply because the unconscious pattern, the root of the problem, is still there. It will perhaps work temporarily for as long as you can sustain an artificial change with the limited power of your ego. But the unconscious mind is way stronger than you are. It lets you play around a little bit, but your energy will soon be depleted. You will get tired of sustaining things. The unconscious patterns takes the control back, and your old repetition comes back into your life. How many times have you experienced that? The unconscious mind is the boss. If you truly want to liberate yourself from repetitive thoughts and think freely, if you truly want to liberate yourself from emotions that imprison you and be happier, if you truly want to liberate yourself from repetitive behaviors and grow as a person and grow more creative and innovative as a professional, you need to eliminate the unconscious pattern that determines all that endless and unbearable repetition. It's very rare to find a work that promotes true transformation, not temporary change that exists only while you can sustain it, forcing yourself to live in an artificial way, but true transformation, without you having to struggle continuously to prevent the unconscious pattern to go back into controlling you. The steady transformation that happens when the unconscious pattern is eliminated. By eliminating repetitive patterns, this long-lasting transformation immediately makes room for the new, for creativity, for innovation. In the unconscious mind, creativity and innovation are not rare, they're the common thing. Although that kind of transformation is already rare, I offer more than that. Don't forget that the unconscious mind determines the types of people attracted to your life. By eliminating unconscious patterns, you stop to always attracting the same kind of people. New relationships come by. They bring new feelings, new ways, new intelligences. They are other universes. Also, don't forget that the unconscious mind determines the kind of situation that happens in your life. By eliminating the unconscious patterns, you stop to attract always the same kind of situation. New situations, new paths, and new opportunities come by. More than provoking true transformation in yourself, I can make life changing its behavior towards yourself. I can transform the whole of your reality. That is what a consciousness designer does. That is what I can do for you and your company.